Master Hua and his disciples when she was a graduate student at the University of Texas at Austin. And inspired by the Venerable Master, she became a monastic disciple a year later after the meeting. Now, during the last 30 years, she has been serving as the principal of girls' school for 10 years here, among many other duties. Last week was discussion was very inspirational. I just shared the very short and about what Professor Brown had talked about. And Professor Brown shared that not only we need to take care of our inner wealth, but our outer wealth as well. That is our natural resources, our planet, environment, climate, and so forth. She called for all of us to come together to take care of our common home as well as ourselves with courage. So that's basically her share of, in terms of meaning, for her, the most meaningful thing to do is for us not only to purify our inner self, but also take the courage to take action so that we can understand the importance of environmental issues, because it is our environment is our common home. Now, with all the destruction going on, we have to prepare to take courage to take care of it. And Dharma Master mentioned that the meaning of life for her is to experience and act compassionately from a strong sense of connection or even oneness with all beings and the whole of reality. She shared that the ecological footprint of people living in the monastery is very small, yet all the basic needs are met as Buddhists practice a gift economy. And she too, as well as Professor Brown, called for us to take action, to join in preserving our environment. And what she demonstrated is that in a Buddhist monastery, that the destruction can be minimized in order to move forward. All right. So this is sort of a very quick summary of last week. So I'm going to introduce the speaker this evening. All right. And I don't know why it's clear. Today, this evening, we have two outstanding speakers. Sorry for the misspelling here. And Dr. Lily Yeh and Principal Zheng. And and this two speakers has been working together for the last 15 years. So let me introduce, first of all, Lily. Lily has been an artist for all her life with 8 honorary doctorate degrees. But when she was very young, as an art professor, she was unsatisfied with her job. So she quit her job and tried to find the ideal of a dustless world admired by the Northern Song Dynasty artists. And guess what? She found it in the poorest places in the world and helping people there to get up to find purpose in life. For example, she founded the Memorial genocide in Rwanda, when where 5,000 people walked for miles from the nearby villages on the opening day, so that they can pay respect to the family members they have lost. And she has been wandering all over the world, all right, to help people in the poorest places, and in which she found so that they can become helpful to them. And she was an angel to all of them, and has been outstanding spokesman for these people all over the year. And this picture is the second picture, Ms. Zheng, or Principal Zheng. And Principal Zheng was an associate professor before she went to Harvard for a degree in education. And when she went back to Beijing, she felt compelled to found a school for the people, for the children of migrant workers outside of Beijing, because these people have no right to go to school in Beijing because of they don't have residency there, all right? And now the school has also elementary school with 1,000 students, and have tremendous reputation because what she does was she makes sure she provide high quality education to children of all backgrounds. Now, because of the excellence of education she provided, the white collar people in the neighborhood also want to attend her school because of the tremendous culture and the quality of education. And so she provided equal opportunity for all right? But the interesting thing is that while she provide excellence in the quality education, she also, the tuition is on a skill basis. If you're from very poor family, you pay very low, but you're from a higher income family, then you pay higher tuition, all right? So this make it, so wonderful. And now she attracts thousands of volunteers from all over the place, all right, including people who, many students who are overseas Chinese students who went back during the summer to volunteer, all right, with great reputation. So this is the school door gate for the school. I think it's the old school side, and the two of them have been working for many years, because when they met was when Lily gave a talk, and Principal Zheng was there, and she was so impressed, so inspired. So she invited Lily to work with her to improve the school. They've been together for the last 15 years. And so this evening, I asked them to share their experience in terms of the meaning of life, all right? And what I'll do is the rule of this series is that the speakers have 15 minutes to talk about their view from their perspective about the meaning of life, of their quest, all right? And then another half an hour for them to dialogue. And then afterwards, we'll take we'll take the question from the audience and have a discussion. And now this evening, we'll ask Principal Zheng to go first, as Lily seems to have a little bit problem fixing, using her iPad for the session. All right. So, Principal Zheng, would you go first?
Sure. Relashi. Good evening to you and to all the people. Shall I just start to talk like this?
Yes, please. Yeah.
All right. All right. I feel very honored to be here, to have this opportunity to meet with so many wonderful people online. This is a new way, but I think this doesn't stop us to have a good communication. I'll try to use this time to learn from everyone and to share something with you too. And the last week we had a meeting with Dr. Raymond, and actually your guidance has brought me into a journey of reflection. During the days, I'm always been busy in doing some things, but now this time you forced me to stop for a second to think about things. So of course, the theme of this conversation is quest for meaning of life. So I think when when looking back for the past 60 years, actually everything is about questing for meaning of life. The people looking for meaning of life, the people I'm talking about includes teachers, students, parents, and volunteers, donors, and even including government officials. People all come together, come to Dandelion, and actually search for the meaning of their lives. So today, I like to, it happened to someone took a little short film for school. A few minutes, I was showed it as just for a few minutes, share the screen with you. And then so it saved the time for me to use the language to describe what's about school. I think that the little clip will tell the background and the story. So may I just play it for a few minutes? Then I'll come back.
Okay, please.
All right. Okay. Let's do it. Yeah. I have an assistant here, so I can make sure it can be done. Oh, there is a need to give the permission to share the screen. To what's the name? Dandelion. There's a name is Puguin. So please give the permission to Puguin to share screen. In Chinese, Puguin 3 characters. On my screen, it's right under Mr. Raymond's face. 3 characters, 蒲公英. Oh, I shall tell you earlier. I'm sorry.
中国人也很多啊。
所以
稍等一下，好不好
？Okay, I'm sorry.
找到了这个。
他在找，因为这么多人，他在找。
可以了，可以了。
Okay, found it. Great.
应该可以开始学了。
All right.
你按 share 的时候，在左下角有那个 video 那个要按一下。
Can you see it? Are we successful to share the screen?
No, we
No?
can hear it, but we didn't see it.
哦，能听见看不见。
重新再 share 一次吧，先按
Okay, we try it
stop
one more time. Okay.
先 stop sharing， 然后再重新 share 一次。
你先，你再来一遍。
那你按了那个 share 以后，在左下角有那个 video， 那个要按一下。
要把那个
对，左下角按着
左下角
Video 要打开。
要打开。视频。要打开。Yeah, we didn't turn it on. Sorry.
No problem.
Can you see it now? Is it showing now? 没有。Oh, sorry. Maybe shall we just give it up? You try one more time.
Okay, if we don't try one more time, if we don't see it, then we can.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, I'm not seeing it. Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Okay. Then I'll just talk. It's not as good as we can see it. Okay. Oh, now we see it, right?
看到了，对。
Yeah.
我来介绍一下我弟弟吧。大家好，我是黄大旭。我再介绍一下我们家的生活环境。虽然很小，但是有的住就不错了。
这里是我和妈妈在北京的居住地，我们在这已经住了7年了。
感谢老师们对孩子的悉心栽培，老师们辛苦了，谢谢。
这是我喜欢的球星，这是我睡觉的地方，这是我们家炒菜的地方。我妈妈今天给我买了一块蛋糕。
我的希望就是你以后都有出息，这样妈妈就以后不会做保姆。你的希望呢？
我的希望是每个月多回来给我做几顿饭。
我想让我妈妈减轻压力。
这个是那个孩子的爸爸和我说，他说，我当时盖这个房子的时候特别的用心，我们家有一个男孩一个女孩，因为孩子都大了嘛，他也不想让2个孩子就是都挤在一个小房间，然后他说，我把这个厨房是怎么设计的，它排出来的油烟就不会飘到这个卧室，然后 其实我们两个当时在说的时候，那只是一片废墟，然后家长就特别的自豪的跟我说，这个是我怎么样设计的，那个是怎么样设计的。后来他在说特别特别的骄傲，然后突然就来一句，现在都塌了。然后当时，哎呀，我眼泪当时就下来。
我希望咱们的家长跟得上时代的步伐，学校能做什么也会帮他们使到一些力量。我希望他们还能坚持，因为他们能来到北京，能在这儿坚持，能做别人不做的工作，这么艰苦卓绝的去支撑家庭啊，很难很难，很多是非常困难的。所以我希望这些
退出。瑞老师，那我就回来了啊。
对啊，好。
就是 just now so you see the school and see the students and the parents and their families. That's those pictures are taken in very recent days, so I don't need to say more about the students and their families. They are so-called peasant workers family. They come from over 25 different provinces, and they took up the most low-paid job in the city, and for many policy reasons, not because the urbanization happens so fast, then a lot of policy still the policies not fit into the new situation. So there some difficulties occurred when the children want to study, to find a school to study. So in year 2005, then a few friends of mine, we decide, okay, we'll start a school. And year after year, since then, 16 years has been passed. And year after year, Dandelions recruit the students who possess the poorest academic foundation. And as a group, students are at the bottom of the whole city. However, when the students graduated from Dandelion, over 90% of the students can pass the high school entrance exams. That's the standard exams. You know, in mainland China, there are a lot of standard exams. This is one of them. And so over 90% students can pass. It means they can continue their further study in the next level. They either go to high school or go to the vocational high schools. So in the past 7 years, over 90% students, they continue their study. All other than their academic achievements, Dandelion graduates also hold the value of sharing and to serve. Every year, students will come back to volunteer. And up to now, 2 graduates have finished their college education and come back to teach, to help more children, you know, similar with their with the similar family situation with theirs. So we have 2 graduates now are teachers. And I like to start from to tell a story about how the school started. I think that tells a lot about people, about society, about the confidence about people, and the meaning about the confidence to find the meaning of life. In year 2005, and I think it's something arranged. Then I been arranged. I met Lily Yeh in America, and then by her introduced, and then I met Mr. Randy Yeh. And because during that time, after I met Lily, I thought, okay, Dandelion has to happen. Lily has done the community building work for more than 18 years. So I can start now. So I hold this idea. I came back to Beijing and I met with Mr. Randy. And because I need money to start a school, and then Randy told me, okay, I'm leaving within 10 days. If you can find some funding within the 10 days, how much, no matter how much you find, I can match it up. So then gave me some inspiration. Okay, I start to run around to look for donations. Then I found my childhood friends, and they suggest me to find a big sister figure among our childhood bunch. They said, okay, if she stood up to raise funds, then people will trust her and to send money. So this is the first time I ask money from people, and I heard some encouragement. For example, one childhood friend told me, if one can do something like this, one's life would be worth to live. So this is a good side. But when I stepped into this big sister's home, told her the idea about dandelion, and then someone sitting in her home said to me, now there are many cheaters. How can we trust that this is not a fraud? Mm-hmm. And someone else said, you are sick. This is something you should do. This is not something you should do. You are sick. So during that time, I didn't expect this to happen. And actually tears filled up with my eyes. It came a silent there. I don't know what to continue. Right at that moment, the big sister stood up, said, okay, home. He held my hands, said, let's go to the bank. I will open an account using my name. So people will send their donation to the account. Okay, let's go before the bank closed. So we did it within 10 days. And my childhood friends sent in close to 200,000 Chinese. Then Mr. Randy gave us another 200,000. And this is how the school started. And Mr. Randy has some young assistant. By that time, I got familiar with his assistant. One of the assistants told me, she said, Mr. Yeh told us that even you use up this fund and not being successful, he will not regret for his donation. So that's how the dandelion started. From this, I start to realize during life, when you want to do something, there are always trust and untrust, supportive and unsupportive, and always show the darkness of the life and the silver light in life, and desperate and hope. Always these two sides will present to you, and always they come in pairs. So in the past 16 years, occasions like this happen again and again. It taught me that the world is not that wonderful, neither it is not that bad. It is up to you to determine what you should embrace in your life. It surely will lead to different ways of living. So this is one story I would like to share, and it hit me, and I often reflect on this and to understand more how the real life story teach me about life. And the other, if I have a few minutes, I would like to share briefly another story. And that is about how I got to know human nature deeper. This is on a occasion when there was a VIP said he would like to visit school and also visit students' home. So the local government officials said, okay, then we have to inspect on the, which home the visitor is allowed to see. Then so we visit the homes before the visitor came. So we visit one and after another. And when we stepped into a home, we found a student, is a girl, was arguing with the father. And the father said, you should not go to school anymore. And we can save this money. And so later on, when your little brother grew up, so we have enough money to send him into school. So you should stop going to school now, and you can go to work to earn some money. But the girl wants to go to school. So she was crying. And we saw the government official kind of had the iron face and feel unhappy about this. Anyway, she didn't say anything, so we stepped out of the family and we visited other families. Finally, we decided what family the VIP visitor should go. Then this chapter just passed, but on the following day, I received a phone call from this local government official. And she told me, she said, okay, I will pay for this girl, paid full tuition for her, so she can go back to school today. So so this is another, this story actually told me, in my mind, before, I think the government is inspect us and set up rules and maybe sometimes give us some difficulties. But actually, this is I understand that even behind this face, there is a human heart. And then I related this with, we have thousands of visitors and volunteers. Before they come to Dandelion, they could be in business, in government, in universities, or stay-home moms. They could be rich or poor, young or old, native or foreigner. But I've seen a stunning phenomenon is that is when people come to Dandelion, no matter what their value system or worldview, at Dandelion, they express their best wishes toward others, and they show their most positive side of their characters. So then I realized Dandelion serves as a real-life stage. People from all over bring their best part in their hearts to this place. While Dandelion is surrounded by real hardship, it is also surrounded by the goodness of real people. In 16 years at Dandelion, I have had the opportunity to witness the goodness in people. People also draw positive energy from Dandelion. So then I realized Dandelion is a place for different people to find their meaning of life. Then to me, to witness this reality to witness this part of human nature is the most important reward to myself. It assures no matter, it assures me this is the forever hope for the world. And that makes all the works in Dandelion meaningful. So from this little story, I like to see in Dandelion is not every, we don't have a smooth path. We don't have all the not sunshine all the time, but we do see the bright side of the world, the bright side of in human hearts. So I think this give me the confidence. If we say search for the meaning of life, we have the foundation, we can find it, especially during these days when people are getting too materialized, or when the machine or the IA can replace a lot of human works. But this is the crucial time for us to think more about what is the meaning of life. So, okay, I'll stop here. Mr. Raymond, I'll stop here.
Okay.
And later on, we'll have opportunity to chat with Lily.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Principal Zheng Hong. I think your story is very moving, and in particular, you know, you see all different sides of human emotions, and for poor family, they hope. For richer family, you know, they're getting the phenomenal education in a place mixed with all kinds of people. So thank you. And Lily, why don't you start to share your story?
Okay. Yes, I will, but I must say something. I have prepared, even though 15 minutes, I want to show pictures, and I have rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed. In the last minute, I couldn't find how to share it. So up until this point, so life just is full of surprises, and often it's not where we focus on. But anyway, now I am able to show my slides, so I can share one part more clearly what I do. And I'm a visual artist, and so I want to, and my work very much is about process. So I want to show the pictures, then we can discuss why. Anyway, I think I just want to reflect back that I'm a very late bloomer. Like I didn't find my path until in the later part of my 40s, but I actually had a very nice life, nice family, went to the best school, got good score, got scholarship, and taught at the University of the Arts for near 3 decades. But in my 30s and early 40s, I begin to feel, even with all the outward things going smoothly, there's something missing. And I start out to find that place. I remember traveling to different places far and wide and trying to find that place. And then I remember that what makes me most exciting there is that special place when I was studying Chinese landscape painting. If I can, I want to share screen right now. Right, wait a minute. Okay, how do I do that? And I have to do this and then share screen. Yes, share screen. Right, okay, share. And here it is. When I was in high school, college, I studied Chinese painting seriously. And so in those paintings, those are my early work, and in Songyuan painting, and I found a place, although of this world, but it is so pristine and beautiful, and but with beauty and luminosity, and there is the transcendence I felt. I always feel at home there and timeless. And I said, I need to go back to that place where I call home. And the Chinese scholars call it the dustless world. And by chance, life arranged in such a way that in 1984 or 86, I was invited to inner city North Philadelphia, and the neighborhood looked like this on an abandoned lot. And I met Arthur Hall, a dancer choreographer. He has one abandoned lot next to his building, as you can see how dilapidated it is. And he said, why don't you do some art here? I said, oh, okay, no problem, not really knowing how. But then I applied for a little grant, and then surprised that they gave it to me. And so I was scared, and the city tore down 10 houses next to it. Now I have a big abandoned lot. I said I couldn't do it. I was frightened, and I was writing letter to say that I'm withdrawing from the project. And then the little voice in me told me, you have been searching it for a long time, and if you cannot rise to the occasion, the best of you will die, and the rest will not amount to anything. So that scared me. So I said, whatever, even though I don't know how to build it, but I can do something with the children. And then this is my first team. You know, little children from 3.5 to 13 years old. We want to plant trees. We didn't have money, so we make the wire team, and then and then Jojo helped me. Did we know what we were doing? Absolutely not, because after we come back the first summer, and our sculpture looked like that, like the skin disease. I said, oh, this doesn't work, you know, and so we must do mosaic. So I learned mosaic, and this is another team of children helping me. Look, they're proud. And then the work, it's not that great, but we succeeded. We did it, and the children helped me. And then we made the painting, and it took me 3 tries, this huge mural. And adults begin to help to come in, right? And then so this is the mural that helped me to understand when it's done right, the process right, it has the power to transform space. And I learned this is what village looked like today. The trees, there was no tree. All the trees now become tree groves. And people say inner city has no resources. I said wrong, because our lack of imagination. We have abandoned lot, use our imagination, creativity. Adults came because children were happy. All my adults were drug addicted. And I said, no problem. Let's not go to the negative. Let's go to the positive and see what we can do together. And together we figured, we solved our own problem. And here is the transformation. I call it meditation park. I don't have personal wealth or technology and whatever, but I brought what inspired me. Chinese garden, Islamic courtyard. It is all by us, people who had no skill, little skill. We created our first tree of life, Persian influence, and it's still standing proud there. Another abandoned lot, another transformation, dazzling murals, and spaceship even visit us, a night full of stars. And so, and this is, so when it snowed, the bad land is transformed to the land of enchantment. And people tell us that you are minority, you are Black, you are brown, and you're a woman, and you're poor, you don't amount to much. And I say, we refuse to accept other people's prejudiced opinion upon us. And let's define ourselves. And we create an arts festival, and we make ourselves look beautiful and bold and proud. And we find we are just so lovely, full of talents. And we make puppets so big, and we march down the street. And then we share gifts with our community. And so this is spreading goodwill. And then here, look at that, how glamorous we look on our 10th anniversary. And the high point of our arts festival is the rites of passage. And here we turn first from abandoned land into beautiful place. Then we transform beautiful place into sanctified space of the spirit of our soul, for our soul. Our teens prepare themselves with ceremonial garment, with torches in hand. They walk into the meditation park, stepped on the platform, and the community parents all around with lights in our hand. We say, we will stand by you, we are your foundation. And the young people say that we respect you, we'll work hard, and we will bring our light to the future. At the village, I call this place the Village of Arts and Humanities. And in Chinese name is Yeh Ms, which is more to the spirits. When we come here, we feel hopeful, we feel joyful, we feel the compassion, love for each other. And I realized that because I got in touch with my pilot light, and it light, and I stepped into my life. And then I want to light other people's dormant pilot light, to awaken the goodness and the creativity within all of us, so that we all shine together across the horizon. And this is how we can drive away the darkness, the evil, the egohood, the attachment, and the possessiveness, and the selfishness that pervades our land today. And my good fortune is meeting Zheng. I wanted to do something for the migrant children. I heard how much pain the migrant children, whether they follow their parents or they stay back at home, the family were torn apart. I was looking how I can be a help there. And I met Zheng. Life arranged that way, totally surprising. And she just began to school. And look at her school. And she didn't know how, I didn't know how, but we tried to take one step forward. And that was the old abandoned factory. It would look like that, all gray and concrete. And my thing, the pursuit, what drives me is the pursuit. I long to create beauty, and we can talk about what that is. So anyway, I came in. This is our migrant children that at the bottom of the social strata. And look at the school, why it attracts so many people. And I have been with the school for 18 years because it is about compassion. It is about community, about concern for each other, and about truth, finding authenticity. Look at what it says. 千教万教，教人学真. You learn, you teach 1,000 times, 10,000 times. You learn and search for authenticity. Now, how many schools do that? And so I said, how do you teach art? And I said, well, that's just everybody jump in, grab a brushstroke and paint ourselves. And let's paint together. The bigger the mess, the better it is, because it's more freeing, more relaxing in such a tightly scheduled day-to-day life. And I asked the children, what do you want to see in your environment? And they tell me they want to see green, they want to see tree, they want to see butterfly and beauty, they want to see color and pattern. And I don't just want to do art for dandelion. I wanted to anchor deep in our culture, Chinese culture. They are from the country. And I say, what's better than the anchor in Chinese folk art, 3,000, 4,000 years old, and reservoir of Chinese civilization and art. And now you look at the beautiful the anonymous person, and then this tremendous Chinese peasant turned a thundering artist, Hu Shulan. She's so powerful, her flowers rotate like stars in heaven. So I, based on their inspiration, I created the tree of life with dandelion right in the center. People, teachers, students, whoever come and help me. Together, we created this. And then I create my design based on Kushilan. This is the site, and this is the process. Students, teachers, volunteer, mosaics. We create the tree of life, a column of strength. And this is the front of the building. And this is after the transformation. There's white space. We must turn it into color and dream. It's the rotating star, ever blossoming flowers. Look at that. And we can study hard, learn authenticity, creativity, and we can reach to the sky and catch the star. And our astronauts, including the first woman, are now in the space. This is for real. Art speaks of our dream, and we realize that dream. And then one student, Huang Chaoran, she was inspired. He created something. Students sketched it onto the wall. They learned mosaic, and together they carried it out. Student design, student executed. Look at this beautiful Persian design tree of life. Look at that, all by students. This is our education. Look at this, self-confidence, enjoy community, a group together, searching for truth, creativity. Look at and I asked them to design the building. They got so excited, and just that act to honor their creativity. One student did this. I said, so great, let's do it. I still remember that was February 1st. We were frozen. We were so cold, but the passion in our heart make us come out in below freezing. We were paint our heart out. We transformed the flatness by putting something undulating, poetic. My buddy, we are so happy painting there. I honor my buddy. And look, we transformed the rainbow. How many schools put this 爱满天下, made the earth, heaven and earth, be filled with love? And that's Pugongying. When we come in and out, we are blessed by the rainbow energy from the sky, and that is Pugongying. I'm so grateful for Pugongying to give me the opportunity to realize my kind of art. It expressed my lifelong passion to realize beauty. But this beauty is not to be taken lightly. It is not decorative. It is not to be owned. It is our wrestle, struggle, and retrieve it, and wrestle it from the heart of darkness, where conflict and chaos and confusion resides. But we brought it into the light, and we must see it because our souls longs for beauty, through which shines the light of life. And now we come to the second phase. Dandelion School today is like this, so beautiful and so wonderful. Light, glass, good heating and everything. Yet, then Zheng invited me back. He said the hardware is so much better, but it is too cold. You need to come and help us to bring the temperature up, to give it warmth. 要接地气, make it connected with earth. Students especially feel alienated and want to long for the old campus where there is color and joy. So, and Zheng Hong said, you need in your art, you need to carry on, you need to pass on, you need to bring forth our memory, our cultural and artistic tradition. And so I designed another tree of life. And this time it is mosaic tree, dandelion tree of life. And this just none of us really have art training. I said, you want to learn swimming, jump into water, and then you start to splash. Then you start to realize what is the better way. So I just say, everybody jump in and look at here. We manage, we struggle, but we manage. And this is the first 千教万教教人学真 study, teach 10,000 times and searching, learning to be true. And look at our tree of life. It gives out light. It splashes the light and reflects the sunlight and gives it back. And I created something else. I want to even root it deeper into the Chinese tradition. Here is the Fushan dandelion tree growth. That Fushan Shu is Chinese from 3,000 years old, and it's the tree of life. And it's centered, it's the center, the axis mundi, it's the world center, because it is root deep into the earth and reach high into the sky. And the sun lives on this tree. It dwells in the center of the earth. And so I did just a monochrome and did the color. This is the golden, the sun, it's the sun disk right in the middle, magical. And this is when we start the project. They project the image onto the wall, sketch it, but look at the atmosphere. It is like the land of enchantment, full of mystery, poetry, and joy, and beauty. And I always want my project to be carried out like that, not stress, but just happiness and joy. And then look at this, and students participated, and then teachers and volunteers, everybody, whoever, whenever offer. And this is the Fusang Shengming Shu as of now. And our last project, and then the student in a workshop, and she said, we long to see rainbow come to our school. And I remember the beautiful tree of life in Old Pugonging. I redesigned that new tree of life for Pugonging, and the site is right here. This is the western wall. Behind it, the tree, that's a public little public park. And this is my design, okay, undulating, soft, and whatever. And Zheng Hong come up with, this is the centerpiece, will be in mosaic, will be filled with mirror, will reflect lights. Zheng Hong come up with another wonderful idea. She invited the architecture school, college, then Gendan students and teachers to participate. And they designed the wall like this. And better. It's translucent. So the wall will become the gallery for every year. Student can display their work. And there's transparency, communication between the school campus and the park. So the energy of the Pugonging, the joy, will begin to be shared by the public space. So at the Village of Arts Humanities, I mostly design all the murals and the spaces, and the community people people come in and carry it out. But then gradually I learned to invite other artists and people to join in. So we call it 独唱, create individually, and 群唱, create together. And this is a very good example of creating individually and creative collectively. And this is an example of democratic process. Democracy. At the beginning, an artist longs to be helpful, to design for the community. You invite the community to, you build with the community, invite community to participate. So we build with the community. And then when community learn the skill and they create themselves, at the end, it belongs to the people. You know, it's for at the beginning for the people, then with the people, then by the people, at the end belong to the people. And to end this, I want to read you a poem. It expresses what my art, our art is all about. The song, the picture are only water drawn from the living well of the people. And it must be given back to them in a cup of beauty that they may drink, and in drinking, understand themselves. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Lily. What inspirational talk shared by both you and Principal Zheng. And now you know that you two have another 15 minutes to sort of have a dialogue about both your work and walk about the meaning of life. And I think both of you have in your heart and your expression talk about authenticity. In Principal Zheng view and in the school direction is talk about not teaching people to be, of course, you want to be people, the student to be able to perform the work and they can graduate as she has proposed that almost all the student graduate can enter into the Beijing normal school now, all right? However, one of the key points in Pu Gongying's work is to learn how to be authentic. And you are there to show them how to be authentic through art. So authenticity seems to be a key part of your work as well as Pu Gongying's work, all right? So now I think I open this for you and Principal Zheng talk about this, share more about authenticity, because I think in the end, the meaning of life must rest on authenticity, or else there's no meaning. Who wants to go first or ask questions?
Okay, let's say a few words. And it made me think actually, you know, in education, there are a lot of methodology, pedagogical methodology. And in the very recent years, people, you know, a lot of so-called educational reform in the classrooms, and then it is in this thinking about how to to prepare for this this conversation. Then I realized actually now in many occasions the soul has been empty, and the same methodology you can use it to work for different purpose. You can use it to do a meaningful education, or use it to serve for the test-driven education as well. You can use the same method in the classrooms and make students don't understand what's the world, what's the meaning of life. And also you can use this method to help students to search for the meaning of life. So then I think all the methodology has to be related with the value, with the meaning. That's the thing in the so-called educational reform is lacking. So when Yeh came to school, and all our conversation has been about how to inspire students and teachers to make their life related with the meaning. So I think this, I realized how empty the reform of the education can be, because it is took the authenticity out of the life. People will pursue only the fame or the concrete reward, like a degree or a good job or good salary, those things. But they forget what's the true meaning of life. And the so-called educational reform are helping people to move to that direction. That's a terrible mistake. I think this discussion really is a good topic for all the students to discuss. So, actually, I would like to bring this discussion into my classroom to find the truth of life. Now people hardly to think about it. That's my thought about what you just asked.
Thank you. Lily, what do you think?
I think, well, it's just from my my experience. I don't know. Like I found something. I mean, my success is built on my deficits. Usually, we don't like deficits. We like, for example, the reason I started searching, because like showing in the good gallery and teaching in the University of the Arts, a wonderful profession, but it didn't. I was walking on a path that is laid out by society. If you get good grades and you go to the best school, and then you get scholarship and you show in museum or in galleries and you teach, you're a professor, it's all good. But then it didn't fulfill my deepest longing. And what is that longing? I cannot say. Like I said, I need to go back to the dustless world, but it is working in the most broken places that I found the dustless world. And what is that? It's that sense of deep fulfillment and the steadiness, anchoredness in the center. You're in your center, nothing can move you. And I feel it's that sense of luminosity, despite the broken and the crime, and then all the dark conflicts and so forth. But there, I felt it's possible that we can. It gives me, through searching, through not knowing, through not having expertise, going to a African-American, poverty-stricken, and drug-inflicted community. And because I know nothing, so I asked for help. And it's the children It's on the people on the fringe of society. They stepped in to help me. And that's how you gain equality. You're no longer looking down, and we are equal deep in our heart. We have the same light, we have the same kindness and whatever, and we meet in that level. When we can meet in that level, then we naturally already breaking down a lot of superficiality, what is high, what is low. And how do you find the meaning in life? Go low. In Dao De Jing, the highest virtue is like water. Water goes to the lowest place and stay there. And it just by realizing its nature, naturally that plants would come because it provides moisture. When plants grow, birds would come. When it became trees, animals would come. And naturally, it's just the natural way of life. But I think how do you get there? I think just in every moment, I think also you don't just casually walk into your life. It will take, once you're beckoned, it will take everything you have to realize this. Look at Zheng Hong, she gave up. I mean, she studied, learned, do everything she can. And then finally, when she responded the life's calling, she gives up everything else because we are walking on our path. And when we're walking on our own path, nobody can tell us what to do because we are the boss of our life. And we don't ask permission, we don't apologize because we are realizing the purpose why we were born. And I always say that, to be in touch with that, your inner light, that pilot light, it's in all of us. It is not small thing because that light is connected to the life energy that make the sun rise, make the spring come, make the leaves grow. That is how powerful. The bolder we are, and the more powerful we are. But most of the time, it takes tremendous courage. So I say, how do you find it? It's just be truthful to every moment we live and be honest, what we know, what we don't know. And then look for the real thing and not superficial thing. And then things that touches our heart, and be present in the moment you live. And try to be a good person, and then to honor ourselves, our innate quality. Eventually, we will be ready, and we must learn everything that life offers us, and especially when we are in dark times. That is the time to give us strength to penetrate into earth and to grow our roots. Eventually, we'll be ready to step into our life. And then you go forward and you have the energy life arranges for you to realize the purpose we were born.
Well, it sounds very wonderful, but also it takes a tremendous courage like both of you have, all right? Because when you're authentic, you follow the heart. But the society does not allow you to do that most of the time, all right? You work in any organization, you have organization rules that govern you. You work in the society, and society has certain ways to, force you to think in one way or another, all right? If you look at the pandemic, what's the consequence of pandemic? You have, I just watched the news today that 80 people go into a luxurious store and each get a bag and to grab the thing in their bag and run. All right. So this is the kind of thing that's happening because people are trying to, there's no inner compass to guide them to be true to themselves. And this is something I think, as Principal Zheng Hong talked about, the school doesn't teach us this. Well, exception with our CTTP school, we do teach that, all right? But most schools don't teach that.
Hey.
Hello? All right, so I admire the great courage both of you took. And in the case of Principal Zheng, she come from well-off family. She was an associate professor before she went to Harvard. She came back with a degree. She can be very comfortable just as a professor or anything else. But as I recall, Principal Zheng, you mentioned to me, you look at the situation of the migrant children, you said, you cannot not to do it. You must do it. And I think both of you has expressed that you create a meaning because you express your authenticity. And through this inner expression, you have come to alive, to find the truth in yourself, your true north, and your heart will follow what you have. And no matter how difficult it is, you are able to create miracles despite all the obstacles laying in front of you. And I don't know whether there's any question. Let's see.
I just remember when I have to give up the tenured professorship in order to pursue the Ilechun, the village, and then it is a little risky, for security and so forth. But then there's no choice. You're either walking on other person's path or you live your own path. So it's almost like there's no choice if you truly want to live your own life. Yeah. So yeah. So I think.
Well, go ahead.
No, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. What you said remind me of the fact that indeed, when you follow your own inner voice, or when you become more authentic, all right, you are more courageous. And with that, you can go through hardship in life, but your heart is bright. You're happy, you have meaning, and contrast to other people who are trying to make a lot of money and bounded by the organizational rules, even though they are in good position, but they are not happy because they lost the meaning of life. I have many friends. I went to the University of Maryland, and I have many doctor friends, and I was surprised. Many of them really want to be musicians, but but their parents or whatever, or because of medical school, when they come out, they can make a lot of money. So they went there, but they were not happy. All right. So the meaning of life is to really follow your heart, because indeed people didn't realize, as you two demonstrated, that as you follow your heart, you participate in the unfolding of the universe. And in that case, because universe unfolding, but you're bounded by the organization rule, by the society viewpoint of who you should be, you can never break out. So you can only be restricted, though very successful, though very rich, but you have wasted your life, so to speak. All right. But in following your heart and becoming authentic, you have break through the in your case, Lily, both of you, the bond society plays on you, what you should be, all right? And then you become happy. Well, also, as you participate in the unfolding of the universe, actually miracles happen, like to both of you, all right? Which would not have happened if you didn't follow your heart. So I don't see any questions from the audience. So if there's no more question or anyone, Zheng Hong or Lily, you have any last word to say? Or if not, I want to really thank both of you for your courageous path. For,
Can I ask Lily, what's
Yes.
the current project or the future project you have in mind?
Well, I have an ongoing project in Rwanda, and so what is we have now helped the 5 villages of Twa. I think when you talk about Rwanda, you think of Tutsi and Hutu, the 2 major races during the genocide, one group trying to kill the other, but nobody have heard of the Twa. They are the indigenous people. Like 土人, I mean, I shouldn't say 土人, just the indigenous people, and originally it populated in Central Africa, but now there's only 1% of them living in Rwanda, and they are like the untouchables, doomed to live in dire poverty and disdainment from the main the society. But we managed to transform and bring life to the 5 villages. We are now helping the 5th village. But we used to do the art, but since the COVID, we do Fuping, agriculture. Yeah, so we're helping that. But the main project really is in the Dandelion School, major mosaic art project. Yeah. And then I continue to work with the Village of Arts and Humanities. Yeah.
President, Principal Zheng Hong, you have a last word?
Yeah, I think looking forward for Lily to come back, and we'll continue the wonderful work. The miracle will happen again.
Right.
I do have a word to share. When Zheng Hong invited me, and it was very difficult decision for me to make, because I'm used to go to very broken places. There's no rule. Whatever we do together is good. It's an improvement, and so it feels so free and wonderful and whatever. But then when Zheng Hong has this very high-rise building, hard wall, white wall, and whatever, and concrete and so forth, man, I say I don't do things in this such a hard and harsh environment and highly established and whatnot. And then I felt that it's a new challenge, because in a way that we all now live in built high-rise and concrete cities. More and more, there is a deeper sense of alienation. The cement separate us from the soil. We are not natural. Everything around it is artificial, and it's defined by somebody else. And so I said, well, maybe through art, through creativity, through composing music and poetry, some creative act for all of us who feel alienation in the world, in our environment, maybe we can do something that connect us to the earth, connect us with nature, and create something that we can belong, a sense of belonging. And when you can do public art, when you do something for others, that help us to connect to the others for our own well-being, survival, and then connectedness to the greater energy and to life itself. So that's my advice. And never say we don't know how. You know, it's just jump into the water and start splashing, and you will find how soothing and wonderful the water feels. Yeah.
Well,
and have fun.
Well, thank you very much. Here is a question for 郑校长。郑老师，蒲公英学校和圣城的育良学校培育中学有合作吗？国内或者说未来中国其他地方有分校吗？
现在 no, we don't have any other no second campus, only this one in Beijing, and but the recent development is. Surely we want to have like sister schools or connections with other schools. And also the recent development is we will start to provide training sessions to the teachers from countryside. So if it goes smoothly in February next year, we'll start the training. So in this way, the seeds of the dandelion can spread broader and can have some can benefit more students, especially those students in the countryside. So we don't have other schools, but we would like to provide more help or influence through training the teachers. Like how you train our teachers.
Well, you know, I heard that China has what, more than 20 million children of this kind of the kind of student you have around major cities. So you have a lot of potential. All right. Also, I want to mention to you one of our previous speakers, Mr. Naveen. Who is international director of a containment foundation, who help schools all over the world for increasing students' happiness. And she is very interested to work with you. So if you're interested, I'll set up a meeting between you and him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, please set up a meeting.
Well, they have not had working with schools in China, but they have worked with 100 schools around the world.
Oh wow!
Helping them.
Wow.
So they want to help to. They want to train the teachers so that to train them how to make the student more content, more happy. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully soon, very soon, we can meet online first.
Yeah, I set up I asked you, both of you had time and set up a meeting. I think that our time is up, and thank you very much for your sharing, and this is wonderful. And we hope your project will continue and grow, set an example, not only for the 20 million, you know, 留守儿童 in China, but around the world. All right. Thank you very much for your participation. And somebody from Zhejiang says, I want to participate in your training too. 他说只有幼儿园教师资格可以吗 ？And
we don't have kindergarten yet. No school, preschool yet.
Yeah. All right.
But the idea of education, there are a lot of similarities. Yeah, they are the same.
And you're also working on having a high school as well.
We're trying to see.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll see.
Again, thank you very much. And I now refer back to Dhamma Ms. Jing to have our dedication of merit.
Before
Thank you.
dedication, Mary, we have announcement for next week. And the forum on the quest for the meaning of life is supposed to end today. But because it's so wonderful, so we add another one. It's next week. And we invite Dr. Yeh to a conclusion for this whole series. And Ray, can you explain what you are going to talk about?
Well, Dhamma Ms. Jing gave me a very hard job, giving me the assignment to sort of summarize the talk of the previous 7 sessions. And I haven't really done much, but my thought happened to coincide with what you two talk about, because my thought was that I will, instead of summarizing all of your talk in a sense, because the 7 talk jumping from all over the place, all right? And so instead of trying to summarize it, I was trying to develop a framework so that I can fit your part in a different part. And the framework happened to be being authentic, all right? Because the meaning of life, the foundation for the meaning of life is the authenticity of each of us. If we cannot be authentic, there is no meaning, right? And I was surprised both of you talk about the authenticity. So you have provided a foundation for me to provide this integration, but I have not thought more about it. So this week, this coming week is my homework that Dhamma Ms. Jing assigned, and that's what I intend to do. Is that to express that when you become authentic, you're participating in the unfolding of the universe. And because of your intention and authenticity, synchronicity sometimes often. Synchronicity means miracles happen. All right, like Principal Zheng experienced. When you first try to raise money, you try very hard, it's very difficult, and things happen, rent chip in the thing, and things get moving so that you can create your, start the school. And similarly, Lily, same thing. When you become authentic, you naturally follow the flow as the universe unfolds. And through this unfoldment, your intention becomes clear, provided, of course, your intention is not for your selfish reasons, right? You're like the previous 2 speakers talk about. If their intention is to heal the world, to heal the environment, all right? When you have such intention, you move from I to we, as all previous speakers mentioned about. From that, then each of you can express your contribution to the world because you have given up yourself. For both of you, you don't need to do that. You don't need to go through all the hardship to achieve something which you don't even know. But you follow your heart. You want to have meaning in your life by being authentic. So this is the sort of starting point that I would say I will try to create the framework so that to express all of what you have talked about, right? So, Dharma Messian, to answer your question, this is the sort of initial thought. I don't know what will be, but this week, I will try to search for that. Thank you. Dharma Messian, go back to you for the
Great. We are looking forward to your talk next week. And like to express appreciation to Dr. Lili Yeh and also Ms. Zheng for your wonderful talk, very inspiring. And then we'll dedicate marriage. I think we'll ask Ellen to lead us to chant this dedication of marriage. Ellen, can you go ahead?
Okay, 阿弥陀佛。May the Mary from this practice pardon all the Buddha's lands, repay the kindness from above, and rescue those in paths below. May all who see or hear all this resolve upon awakening, and when this body meets its end, be born together in the land of bliss.